All right, welcome to Top Talent. And this is especially exciting for me because we're going global. I've never thought that I'd be sitting in my basement going global, but I had a chance to meet a very interesting gentleman, and I want the whole capital region and beyond to meet him. We finally got a chance to put this together. His name is Zain. It is Abiddin, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Welcome, Zain, and I want you to tell everybody in Albany, New York, where I'm broadcasting from, where you are from.
Okay, so you'll have to introduce me again. I'm going to turn off my video and then I'm going to do a entry. Okay, sorry. Okay, so you've already done that. I'm not going to ask you to do that.
Yeah, that would have been a better way to do it.
Okay.
Take two.
So yeah, I'm from Pakistan. I'm from Lahore, Pakistan, and I'm a musician and literally not the top talent.
Oh, yes, you are. Oh,
no.
We're gonna have a fight. We're gonna have a fight.
Yeah, the only talent that Richie knows in Pakistan, so you can say that.
And the way we met is kind of interesting. I guess the way a lot of people meet these days, right? Online, we met at a music forum, music group, Facebook group.
Yeah.
I think I was looking up a piece of software, and you were on the same page, and that's how we started talking. And we met through music, and continuing to talk constantly about music. You're primarily guitar.
Yeah, I think you were. I think you were asking something about Logic. So for the people who don't know what Logic is, it's a software to record music these days digitally. So I think you were asking something about that, and I replied to you about that, and that's how we started talking.
That's right. And Logic to me is completely illogical. That's my problem with it. I'm still
and what you're good with, that's totally illogical for me. The old analog stuff, the hardware, the mixer and stuff.
Now, not only I should say, are you a musician, but you also work in a studio. You continue to work in that studio, right?
Yeah. I still work in a studio, but due to the pandemic, I had, music isn't really a very good source of income throughout the world, I assume. And hopefully we'll talk about that as well.
Yes.
And so, I had to take up other things. So I'm not really doing that production music full time. Yeah.
But some of the things you were doing when you were more busy in the studio, you told me you did some soundtracks for television shows there.
Yeah, we do. I actually don't own the studio. My friend Sami Khan owns the studio, and he's the main producer in that studio. He's a really good friend of mine and a mentor. So he has been producing soundtracks for we call them dramas here. So they're like you watch a series on Netflix or like that. So these are dramas here, and we do the title songs for those dramas.
Is your instrumentation on the actual soundtracks, or are you doing more the production part of it?
On mostly the production part, and I've also played in some of the songs. Yeah.
Really?
So normally it would go like we would produce. We would start from the basic, from scratch. We'll start composing and writing. And for composing, it would be like I would get my guitar. I would play something on my guitar, and Sami, my friend, he would start singing something or humming a tune. So that's how we would compose it. He would write something, and then we would record the basic structure. Just a rough structure, a guitar, some vocals, a melody, and then we'll send a couple of options to the producers of the show, and when they would choose a song they like, then we will start working on that.
So have you watched these shows afterwards and listened to it on your couch and think, oh wow, that's me. Have you had a chance to do that?
I would actually only watch the dramas to listen to those songs.
You didn't care about the plot, right?
No. Yeah.
And well, I'm trying to be your agent here. Did you get any royalties for this? I mean, are you
Oh,
continuing to get royalties? Of course
no,
not,
no,
because
no, no.
none of us musicians ever make any money.
Yeah, I saw a post today on Facebook, and it was a very interesting post. Do you know there's a little pocket on your jeans? If you're wearing a jeans right now, there's a little
Right.
pocket right next to the big pocket.
Right.
So someone wrote this small pocket is for all the royalties we get for our.
That's right. I don't know why we're laughing, right?
It's sad, but it's funny.
It is sad. So, some of the other things that you do now besides music, you're in the computer biz, or
Yeah, yeah, I'm actually a software engineer. So yeah, I develop websites. I mm, develop softwares, mostly websites, and I offer technical support for network and system issues.
and you're working with people right here in the United States, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have a lot of clients from United States and Canada, and I prefer people from US and Canada. So yeah, people are understanding. They pay you for your work, for your actual work. So
Unlike
and
musicians.
unlike musicians, yeah, definitely. Uh, we've shared some stories.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So you'd consider yourself a freelancer then? You freelance basically.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a
Well,
freelance.
that's interesting because I was looking up some information about Pakistan, which we'll talk about later. But Pakistan has generated $1 billion in freelancing in the year 2017. Freelancing is a way of providing technical expertise via the internet. So I guess it's a
Yeah,
big business there, right? Well,
yeah,
with the pandemic, everybody's doing this kind of thing all over the world.
yeah, yeah. It really boomed in the pandemic, and yes, there's a freelancer in every other home here in Pakistan,
Really?
and
Huh.
yeah, everyone wants to go into the IT business because of that. Employment here isn't really good. People like we spend thousands of dollars on education, but we can't get the jobs we deserve.
Yeah.
So yeah, we everyone has to do freelancing, and the sad thing is, how much did you say we generated? The freelancer generated,
1 billion
yeah, and we can't open a bank account. If we go to the bank and say I'm a freelancer, they won't open a bank account for me.
because you don't have a full-time employer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. That's insane. You need an agent.
Yeah,
But that takes intelligence, obviously, to become to do IT work. I mean, you're a very smart guy, which brings up another very interesting fact that the fourth most intelligent people in the world, according to this, are from Pakistan.
who are the first?
I don't know. It's definitely not me personally. I can tell you that right now. Now,
Okay,
how big is the
so
city that you live in?
um, it's a dot as compared to United States or any city in the United States. It's a
Right.
dot. You can't even find it on the map. Yeah. Okay. So I'm exaggerating. You can find it on the map. So Lahore is not the capital, but a very important city of Pakistan. Yeah. So
What is it again?
it's
How do you spell
decent.
it?
Lahore.
Oh, okay. Lahore. That's
Yeah.
a pronoun-
I know it sounds something else.
That's the extent of
Okay.
my Pakistani vocabulary. Lahore.
Yeah.
And Zain. That's it. That's it for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
I'm sure you know Karachi.
yes, that's the largest city.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we saw some pictures of Obama visiting Karachi in his
That's right.
teenage years. Yeah.
And Sylvester Stallone, didn't he do a movie there? He did a Rambo movie there.
I haven't actually I haven't actually watched all the parts of Rambo. I think maybe part one, two. There are like 5 parts, 6 parts.
Right. Who would be your most favorite star from the United States, would you say? And
Jim Carrey.
movie star.
So it's a list like Jim Carrey, DiCaprio.
Okay.
Um, and what's that guy from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie?
Oh,
Johnny Depp.
oh no, Johnny Depp. That's right. Right.
Yeah, yeah. These are good. I like a lot of actors. So these are just from the top of my mind. But
Mhm.
yeah, these people are amazing at what they do. Yeah, definitely.
They used to say years ago, because I'm, significantly older than you, that like even when you played American television shows in England, they used to say, well, the humor is different. They don't understand our humor and vice versa. Is our humor well, I think our humor is the same. When you tell a joke to me, I laugh, and when I tell a joke to you, you laugh.
Yeah, yeah. So
When people in
yeah.
Pakistan watch movies from the United States, do they get it? They must. They're very popular.
I- um, my generation gets it. My generation and newer.
Hmm.
That's how I'll put it. Previous generations, in like, if my father watches a
Yeah.
comedy, yeah. So maybe he definitely he introduced me to the movies, English movies, American movies, and but not as much as I'd get
Hmm.
the jokes. Yeah,
Maybe it's because of the internet today. We're so
yeah,
yeah
yeah,
that we're
definitely.
exposed to a lot more
We're
things.
more aware. Yeah, we're more aware about the uh, cultures, different cultures, how life. So maybe it could be funny, but maybe I know more about your culture than you do
Yeah.
because of how many shows I watched and the movies I watched.
So that's movies. How about TV shows? Would you say
TV
what's
shows.
you're going to watch something tonight from the United States? What would you watch?
Uh, I just finished watching Rick and Morty,
Okay.
and yeah, I'm a big Rick and Morty fan. And if you haven't, have you watched Rick and Morty?
I've watched a couple episodes. Yeah, that's something different.
Yeah. And by the way, the number one series in Pakistan is Friends.
You
Still,
told me that.
yeah,
That's amazing.
still,
Still, yeah. Well,
yeah.
they had a friend.
So,
Go ahead.
mhm,
Sorry.
mhm. Sorry, you continue.
No, I was going to say they just had a friends reunion too.
Yeah, yeah, and it was a big thing here in Pakistan. Everyone
Wow.
was talking about it. Yeah, everyone. So, yeah, and Friends. So when someone starts watching series, that's the first series everyone recommends. Go watch Friends. I was talking to someone a few days ago, and they haven't watched a single English, American, or UK series, and I right away I recommended Friends. Start with Friends.
Do they have a an equivalent there? Do you have any television shows that try to be? I mean, like, what's the
That's right.
number one Pakistani produced television show there? A comedy. I mean, do they do a lot of comedies?
Yeah, they do a lot of comedies, but mm, not my cup of tea.
Oh, you don't like? That's interesting.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
Even if your soundtrack was on one of those TV shows, you wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, then I'd watch it.
No, you could just close your eyes and listen to it, right?
Yeah,
Just listen to it.
yeah,
That's something that was
definitely.
extremely exciting to me. I did bounce around subjects, which I guess I'm famous of doing. Is you asked me to listen to something that you wrote and asked
Yeah.
me if I would like to play the piano or keyboard, I should say, on one of your songs. And in the beginning, I guess my vision of a song from Pakistan would not be something that I would fit with because I'm picturing a very upbeat song, like a danceable song. I'm picturing that in my mind,
Yeah, yeah.
And but what you sent me just completely blew me away. It was well, explain the song that you sent to me, and we're going to play a bit of it right here.
Yeah. So the thing is, you're absolutely right. The music here that you are aware of is mostly Bollywood music, and that's what uh, is famous here in Pakistan. So everyone is into Bollywood music with
Mm-hmm.
all the dancing and the beats and the drops, and so maybe
Mm-hmm.
you've seen a few clips where a
Oh yeah,
actor starts dancing and everyone in the background starts dancing. There are
absolutely. Sure.
drums, different drums we call dhol and tablas.
Right, it's great music. Oh,
So yeah, yeah. So but I'm more in, when I started playing music, when I started singing, I thank the guy who introduced me to Western music. He at the start he introduced me to Queen, to Guns N' Roses, to Led Zeppelin, and stuff like that. So and that's what inspired me to do music. And
Mhm.
that's what you heard in my music that I shared with you.
Right.
And that is definitely not Pakistani music. We don't do
No.
music like that.
Yeah, it
So
was
it's,
very.
yeah, it's,
And even
it's
Elton
Western
John.
inspired. That's why.
You like Elton John, which
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I think that's how we really started talking because
So
he's my favorite. Yeah.
yeah, it's actually I started searching for movies made on musicians' life,
Hmm.
because I think people can make a movie on my life, on your life, on every musician's life.
For
So
sure.
when we watch a so when we watch such a movie that is made on a musician's life, we kind of relate to it on another level, like a normal person. I'm not saying we are not normal, but a non-musician wouldn't relate to it like we do.
Right. It makes
Yeah.
a connection.
So after
Absolutely.
after Bohemian Rhapsody, I was like, what's the next big thing after Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie? So that's when I looked for the movie on Elton John. I found it online, and his music blew me away, and I was like, oh, this is a whole other world.
But that wasn't the first time you heard Elton John, was it?
No, 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 no.
No,
I've
no.
definitely heard him in the past, but I never heard him like I hear him now
Because you
after
heard the
watching
story.
them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and Freddie Mercury was just
Oh, oh my. Yeah, definitely, definitely amazing. So, and I think his parents were Indians, and that's also very interesting. Like starting from another country and nothing, and being the biggest rock star of the world still today. And
yeah.
that's really
You don't mention the Beatles. Did you like? Did you like the Beatles?
yeah. I actually, I definitely like the Beatles. I like their songs, but I've never really heard their stuff like I hear Queen or Guns N' Roses
Mhm.
or Led Zeppelin. Yeah, but I definitely know a few songs, and I even covered a song. It was called Yesterday. I really loved that song.
Oh, the greatest song.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
beautiful song.
yeah. Did you ever hear the story about yesterday? This is a real aside. That Paul McCartney, he dreamt that melody. He fell
Oh,
asleep. He woke up in the morning and he turned to one of the other Beatles, John Lennon, and he said, "You know, I have this song that was in my head last night. It was da 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 da." He played it on the guitar a little bit. He said, "Have you ever heard that before? Did I steal that?" And John Lennon said, "No, I've never heard it before." He actually dreamt that melody.
oh my, that's interesting. It has happened to me in the past as well,
Hmm.
but I never seem to remember them. Like a few days ago, I dreamt a melody, and it was beautiful in my dream. But I thought it was someone else's melody. But still, when I woke up, I just remembered the last part of it, and I was like, "Oh, why?"
Same with me. I'll dream, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I have this in my head. Wait a minute, I stole that from you.
Yeah. So maybe you wanna play the song?
Yes, I do. Can you tell everybody the name of the song and the meaning
Yeah,
of the title?
yeah. So the song's name is Arzu. So it's still in production. It's not finalized, but yeah. So it's called Arzu. Arzu is basically wish. So
Wish? Okay.
wish, or like it's the main meaning is, do you wish the same? So maybe a lover is explaining his feelings. One part is a lover explaining his feelings, and then he's asking, do you wish the same? Do you feel the same way about me?
Okay. Great. Here's a little bit of Arzu.
दिन ये गुजरता नहीं, शामें भी ढलती नहीं, कैसे बताऊं तुम्हें, जिस दिन दिखे तो क्या तुम्हें भी होती है ऐसी कोई आरज़ू?
And that's just a clip. Oh, it's beautiful. I think the song is beautiful. In fact, I can't get it out of my head. I'll find myself singing. I honestly will to this day.
Thank you,
And we
thank
did this, a while ago.
Yeah, I think it's been over a year, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been. I think it was in the first wave of COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's right.
one day I was sitting in the studio and I muted everything except your strings, your piano, and my vocals, and it sounded way more beautiful than it is sounding right now.
Oh, I think with the guitars. Now you played the guitar and anything else on there? Or
Okay,
did you?
so no, right now this I haven't played anything on this.
Oh,
So it was like I played the demo. I played the rough guitars, and this is the rough vocal that you hear right now.
mm-hmm.
And I sent it over to a musician in Ireland.
In Ireland?
Yeah,
Really?
he is from Pakistan, but he's a amazing guitarist.
Oh,
And I sent it over to him, and this is what he played back. He cleaned everything up and he put in some of his ideas, and this is what he gave me. And then it was you who played the piano and the strings.
right.
And for drums, I contacted my friend Huzefa. He lives in the States. He's also from Pakistan, and he played the drums on his electronic kit.
It really is amazing how it came out. I mean, and that's the
Yeah,
unfinished version.
Yeah, and then there's Aaron Lincoln. He's also from USA. I think he's from California, and he played the saxophone.
Oh, see, I didn't have, so it's all over the world. This is just amazing.
Yeah. And the bass was done like a week ago by Amir Ali. He's a very famous musician here in Pakistan, and
Really?
he has traveled all over the world. He plays sessions with very famous musicians from Pakistan.
And how did you know him? How did you contact him?
I knew him because of the production side, obviously.
Right.
Yeah. So I meet a lot of musicians. I meet a lot of famous people from Pakistan,
Mhm.
from the music industry, from the film industry. So that's how I knew him, and he knew me.
It is very interesting how it's done. And I feel two ways about it. I want to see if you feel the same way. In one way, I'm sitting in my basement. I have Zain on my headphones, and I'm trying to play along with Zain, and it's so cool. I can do it 50 times if I want, which I probably did, and listen to it. It's so amazing, and yet it's so detached at the same time. Like if you were sitting next to me, how much of a better time we would have had. We're sitting with a group of musicians. There's nothing like sitting with musicians.
Yeah, definitely. So when I'm composing, these days when I compose a song, every other song I compose is like the previous song, because of what you said, we don't have that interaction. So
Mhm.
for a different music, we need someone with a little bit different musical mind.
Mhm.
So that's when something different comes along.
Right.
So yeah, this new process definitely lacks that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when you ever sit in with a band, which I don't do a lot, but there's that non-verbal communication. It's amazing. You can sit there and you know what they're thinking. I can't even explain it. Can you?
Yeah. I've experienced that with good musicians, but it's really hard to find good musicians these days. You have to explain everything. You have to break everything down. So it has been a real struggle. I've been struggling for years to find good musicians, like-minded musicians who want to do music, but priorities are different. People want to do music because of what comes with music, the life that comes with music, not for music itself.
Mhm.
I on the other hand want to do music for what music is, a beautiful feeling, a beautiful expression of what we feel.
That's a good
But
point.
yeah, but
Very
that's not what most of the musicians do here.
Yeah. And then another feeling that I get when I play with a band, this is being totally honest, I either get not mad, but frustrated because I'm not as good as they are, or I get frustrated
They-
because I feel that I'm better than they are. So either way, I'll sit there and go, "Ugh, I'd rather play on my own, only because I don't
Yeah.
want to sit there aggravated. It's very
Yeah,
rare
yeah.
that, like, when you sit there with a whole group, like you said, that feels the same way and everybody's on the same page. It's
Yeah.
very hard to find the right mix.
Yeah. It's definitely the other thing you mentioned, that the feeling that maybe I am better than these, and the frustration due to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Although a lot of times
Definitely.
I'm not. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else by any means.
Oh, you're definitely better than everyone I know here.
Oh, not at
Yeah.
all.
Hands down, the best musician I've known in my life.
Oh no! Oh no! Please, you talking to me? Hey, you talking to me? That's a New York
Was
accent.
that okay? I thought it was an Italian accent.
Oh well, yeah, that's right. Hey, you talking to me?
I can't do that. Hey, you're talking to me. I sound more Indian.
That's hysterical. So the other, this is interesting. I just read this before I came down here to record this, and I know you really like Elton John a lot. And I wouldn't be playing the piano if it wasn't for Elton John. I think the first song I ever learned was your song. I just read that he was in a very bad fall. He fell on a hard surface, and he's had to cancel 20 shows. I don't know what happened to him. He said he's in such bad pain that he may have to have an operation to go back on. I don't know. I just read it today as we're recording this. So,
I think I saw his video a few days ago. He seemed to be fine.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's recent.
Yeah. But he's booked so many shows. He's 74 years old. I mean, he's a genius of all geniuses, don't you think?
Yeah. Is he doing his last tour? I think he's doing his last tour.
This is like his 3-year farewell tour. I think that was almost a joke with some people who said a farewell tour. It's taken him 3 years, but he wants to say goodbye to every place he's ever been, which is the entire world,
Not Pakistan though. He should come to Pakistan.
He never came.
No one comes to Pakistan. No one comes to Pakistan.
If tomorrow you became a world famous musician, do you think you would like it? If you became a world famous, if this song took off, you became a world famous musician and got to travel the world, do you think you would be able to handle the transformation in your life, or would you rather do what you're doing?
I think I have been preparing for this whole all my life. Every musician that's what we want. We want a part of that big stage.
Right.
Yeah. So whenever I'm listening to a song, so I close my eyes and I imagine like I'm performing in front of thousands and thousands of people.
Interesting.
So I think I already have that practice in my mind. And I think I'll handle it pretty well.
Yeah, I think you could definitely do it. What's the biggest crowd you've ever played to?
I think maybe 400 or 500 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
do you get more nervous? I mean, everybody gets nervous, but you're not nervous?
No. I get nervous in front of people I know.
Yeah, same with me.
Yeah. If I'm performing and I at somewhere and I know no one in the crowd knows me, then I'm the most confident.
That's true. Like playing in front of your parents. That was always the worst.
Right? Worst. So you brought up parents. Okay. So in Pakistan, people like to listen to music. People like to dance to music in their own time, but they don't like musicians.
They don't like musicians themselves?
No, definitely they don't like music. For example, my parents never wanted me to do music. They still don't want me to do music.
Really?
So it's more religious and cultural. Like we believe that it's prohibited in our religion. So things that are prohibited in our religion are not culturally accepted.
Interesting.
So I think that's the main reason. Yeah.
Are they just a little bit upset with you, or to the point where they?
Okay.
I mean, you're on speaking terms still, right? Or Not to
Oh, yeah,
not to
yeah,
get
definitely,
personal.
definitely.
Oh,
No, no, no. It's we're very we're on speaking terms. We live together. We still live together. In
oh,
Pakistan, we never leave our parents' house.
that's interesting too. Oh, really? So you live with how many people in your family?
Okay, so I live with my parents, my mother, my father, and my brother. He's married. So and in Pakistan, the living cost is very low as compared to US and Canada,
Uh-huh.
and the property is also very cheaper.
Hmm.
So so we have very big houses. We have very big houses. In India, it's the same. They also have very big houses, and so it's like I have a portion for myself. I have two, three rooms for myself. My parents have two, three rooms for themselves. My brother has two, three rooms for himself. So it's like that. We live together, but we have our privacy.
But it's separate. So if you were
Yeah,
to get married, you would still stay there. You would still live in the
yeah,
house.
yeah, yeah. I will still be here in my portion. So yeah.
It,
So we are under the same roof, but we have our portions.
wow, that's fascinating. Fascinating. And it's always been
Yeah.
like that. So you don't know anybody that's married that bought their own house.
No, no, there are definitely people who leave after getting married when it gets too crowded.
Right.
Yeah, you can't live in the same house forever. Like you'll have children, they'll have children, they'll have children. So
That's true.
there definitely a time will come when you'll have to split up. So yeah, and if I remember, we were discussing this the concept of old age homes. That's what we call that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's not like I'm living off my parents
Right. No, no, no.
by living in their house, but they they took care of me when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, when I was starting to become an adult. So now it's my turn to take care of them.
Okay.
You know, yeah,
Very close families. Very close.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Hmm. But if they heard music coming out of your room, they heard you
No,
practicing
no,
the guitar, they
no,
wouldn't.
no.
They'd be mad, or
No, no. So in the start, it was like that. They didn't like music coming out of my room, and so. But now they're like, so. My parents are very understanding, and they accepted what I am, and that's what a parent's love is. No matter what you do, what you are, your parents will mostly accept you.
it wasn't the fact that you started liking Western music. It
Uh-huh,
was the fact
uh-huh.
that it's music in general. Even if you were playing
Oh
music,
yeah, yeah, definitely. It's
interesting.
definitely music in general. People don't consider it a noble career, noble thing to be
Well,
doing music.
I still think it's similar here. If
Mhm,
I went to college here to become a teacher. Actually,
mhm.
my father, he didn't care if I became a musician. He just wanted me. I never heard him say anything negative about it. But I'm sure there are a lot of parents. If I went to college to become a teacher and I ended up playing in a bar, I'm sure there would still be, some hesitance. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
There's always that
So
image of a musician. Yeah.
yeah, so it's more like this. It's your life, do what you want. But
Sure.
yeah, they definitely don't like it.
Comedians have a problem too. A lot of comedians turn to their parents and say, "I want to be a stand-up comedian." Really?
So a musician's life is a drama and a comedy in itself, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of comedy. So
Right.
while you're experiencing it, it is drama. But when you think of it after a few years, it becomes comedy.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we should be, in our defense, we should be more rewarded because we're providing so much happiness to people, especially like right now. People are dying from music. I have a friend who plays in the area, and he's played in bands and played in clubs and so forth. And his full-time job was being a musician. He's done it for like 30 years. And so he started back porch concerts. He would just
Oh.
advertise that I'll play on your back porch to play outside, and he's been booked all over the place. And he puts the little
Oh.
clips on Facebook, and he said people crying, saying, "Thank you for coming. We were so depressed, and you've made our lives so much better." I mean, We should be considered heroes. What the heck is this?
But even our drinks are not free where we perform. If we perform.
That's right. That's right. Oh, you told me that story. Yeah.
Yeah, we can give you free food, but your drinks are not free. You'll have to pay for your drinks. Okay.
Would you get in trouble by telling that story again? And you're not going to mention the place, right?
No, I'm not going to get in trouble. I don't even remember the name of that place. But someone invited me over. They said my friend has opened a restaurant and he wants someone to perform at the restaurant. And I was like, okay, I'll perform there. So, I had totally stopped performing at restaurants or cafes or stuff like that. So I would only perform if someone would pay me. But because this was because of a reference, so I said, okay, I'll play, no worries. And okay, so I went there. They welcomed me very nicely. My friends who are also in my band, they welcomed us, and they said, "So, what do you want to eat? What do you want to drink?" And they and we were feeling amazing. Like they were treating us really nicely. And okay, so we ordered the food. And when we asked them to bring it to our table after we have performed, so we performed for an hour or two, and then they brought our food and we ate and sat there for a while, and then just as we started to leave, they brought us the bill.
You're laughing now, but I bet you weren't laughing.
I was shocked. I was like, what is this? And they said, sorry, it's your bill for the table. And I said, I performed for you guys, and you were talking to me like it's for free, and you have to take it. You have to take it. And when I ordered, now you want me to pay money? And they were like, yes, sorry, there was a misunderstanding. You definitely have to pay for your food and stuff like that. Okay, I said, okay, there's definitely a misunderstanding. You have to pay for my services.
Nice. And what did he say to that?
And they were all confused and all. So I just, a scene was created and I didn't pay anything and we just left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just listening to, I'm reading a book actually about comedians and how they got to start, the history of stand-up comedy in the United States. And there was one comic was saying that when you work these comedy clubs in New York City, it's considered like a privilege to get on stage there. I mean, it's in New York City. There could be agents there, television producers, whatever. And this one guy, he was so desperate to do his act that every time he went to this place, he had to pay the cover charge and the 2-drink minimum. So he had to pay that every single time. And he kept doing it because it was the most famous club. Not only did he not get paid anything, it was costing him money to do his routine. And he only got up there for like 5 or 6 minutes, or 10, maybe 10.
Yeah.
It's so
that's actually the story of my life. That's the story of every underground musician.
Yeah.
Every musician who's not famous. That's the story here. We have to pay. We don't. Most of the musicians don't get paid. They have to pay the cover charge to perform somewhere. They have to order the food. It's normal here. So I'm really against it. I'm venting after a few days on my social media, if you follow it, and I'm like, why do we have to pay? We are offering you service. We are offering you entertainment. Why don't you consider what we do as work? People are coming there. People are sitting there because of us. Because
absolutely. Oh, we have the same thing here. It's not that bad, but they don't pay anything. Yeah. Yeah. I think I worked. Actually at the time it wasn't really bad pay. It was only $50 a night. I played in a piano. You know what a piano bar is? You've seen piano bars. That's how I started. I played like 5 or 6 nights a week, but I didn't get paid a lot. But all the people that came in, they all had private parties and weddings. So I got to work like double, but you had to work double and triple the amount to make any kind of money. But yeah, musicians work so hard. I'll tell you, they don't realize it. It's fun. It's the fun business, but it's still a business and it's still difficult. So
yeah, I hate performing in restaurants where people are eating and you're performing.
Right.
I hate that. So
Yeah.
even when I was starting, not starting after when I was in the mid, I would when someone would invite me to perform at a restaurant, I would say I want a separate set, like where people are sitting in front of me
Yeah.
or standing, and then I'll perform. I will not perform if people are eating on their tables.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's funny you mentioned that too, because again, I played in the piano bar and people were always talking. That's the way it was. Some would
Yeah.
sit around the piano and ask for things, but that's the way it was. Except there was this older gentleman. He'd older, like a blues musician who played in the area. I think he was like 80 in his 80s, and he came in one night and he said, "Hey, you mind if I play a song?" And we said, "Okay." And he sat down at the piano and he's like, and then he went, "Excuse me, I'm playing." And the whole place went quiet. I said, good for you. I've never done that in my whole life. But, he's from the old school. He's like, "I'm playing. This is, you're being disrespectful."
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
I'll never
amazing. Maybe we should try that.
forget.
Maybe we should try that next time.
You're right. So I want to hear you play another song. I know you got your guitar there. Maybe we could well, we can't play live for you folks that I'm sure you understand that you can't sync it up because there's a delay. We could try it, but I don't think it's going to work.
Okay.
No, I'll just listen to you.
Okay, so my guitar skills and my vocals are very rusty because I haven't played in a while due to work. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Or would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Something are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. For I can't help falling in love with you.
Zain Abiddin, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Absolutely great.
And I hope you put in a piano
Oh,
in the
yeah.
background
Yeah.
while editing.
Oh, yeah. While editing. That's right. You like Elvis and stuff? Were you a fan of Elvis?
I like a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of everyone, yeah. A little bit of everything.
But you seem to
So
always,
it's not like Mhm.
you see, well, anything you've ever sent to me has been more of a ballad, more of a slow song, which is interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I love ballads. I love soothing, mellow songs.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday I was telling a friend, like, I think I'm over guitar. I want to shift to piano now.
Oh, okay. Well, I could give you lessons,
Please do, please
over
do.
Zoom.
but drinks are not free, sorry.
I was just thinking, I was going to say there's a cover charge, but
Yeah. Okay.
well, this is another thing that blew me away is when you sent me this not too long ago. Oh, and I put some piano on. We were going to do this as collaboration. Listen to him sing this.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. Don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live.
I don't want to cut this off, but for copyright kind of things, I don't want to play too much of it. I don't know what the rule is, but
Your piano was beautiful. It was beautiful, and Can you please send this to me after the call?
Sure.
I've lost it. Yeah.
Oh, you blew me away when you sent that. I said, "Oh, I don't even want to sing on it." I sang on it later on, but I didn't want to ruin it. You had such a great version of it.
Thank you.
This has been such a really a pleasure. I'm just so glad that we did it. And, again, I was looking up some things about Pakistan that I thought was interesting. I don't know if. Okay, I'll ask you. Do you know what city in Pakistan produces the most footballs in the world?
Yeah, I think I know that. It was, I think, basic general knowledge. It was Sialkot.
That's correct.
Sialk.
That's correct. I didn't know. Sialkot, right? 40 million footballs. Now I'm thinking American footballs. You're talking soccer balls.
Oh no, yeah, soccer balls, definitely.
Right. Yep. I thought this was interesting too. You have two formal languages, two national languages, and English is considered one of them.
No. I think you're confusing it with India.
Oh, I read it under Pakistan that Urdu.
Yeah,
URDU.
Yeah.
It said Urdu and English are the two languages.
Okay, so so it's like Urdu is our national language, and
right.
We consider English as our international language. So maybe you could say that we have two languages. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As opposed to the United States, we don't have a formal language. There is no. That I was reading that on the list that I gave you. I guess we don't.
Yeah.
Because we're a mixture of everything. You have the largest ambulance network in the world.
Oh, is it the ED Center ambulances? Yeah, yep. Definitely. He was you have to read about him. He died, I think, a few years ago, or maybe last year. But he spent his life for peace. I don't think he has anything to his name. Yeah, he spent whatever he had, and people would donate millions and millions to him for his cause. And
so he's famous.
He was a great man. Yeah.
And the other guy who was the #1 professional squash player in the world, Jahangir, Jahangir Khan. He won 555 consecutive matches.
Oh wow! Okay, I didn't know that.
I told you about the $1 billion in freelancing, and this is interesting. Yeah. Do you know Lake Ansu?
Ansu, yeah, Ansu. Ansu is basically tears.
It's the shape of a tear, right? The lake.
Yeah. I think from the bird's eye view.
Yeah, or the shape of an eye with an eyebrow. They said.
Okay. I'll have to see it that way.
This is what I read on Wikipedia. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just reading this. And my last thing, mango is the national fruit. You like mango?
I don't know if it's the national fruit, but people seem to love it a lot here. Yeah.
And sugar cane is the national drink?
Okay, I had no idea.
Well, I'm not asking what you're drinking. And the highest ATM machine in the world is the National Bank's ATM machine. It's 16,000 feet above sea level. Have you ever used that ATM machine?
Where is it? Does it have the location?
I didn't write that down where it was. It just said it was 16,000 feet above sea level. If you're going to take out any money.
I don't think I've ever been 16,000 feet above sea level. So I'm pretty sure I haven't used that ATM.
Well, so we have to finish our project. And you had one other project we were going to work on together, possibly. And that is
two more projects.
Oh, two? Oh, I didn't hear the other one. Tell everybody what we're working on.
Okay, so we'll tell everyone about that. But first, I think you wrote some English lyrics to Arzu. Do you have that?
Oh, yes. I don't have it with me, but yes, I'm going to include that when I put this together. I have the English translation. I tried to translate your lyrics, and I don't know how good of a job I did.
No, it was really good. I thought maybe you could, if you remember, you could play something.
Some of it. No. Oh, maybe I'll add it maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But some of the other a couple other things you had in mind for me to work on with you, which I'll do anyway.
Yeah. No, it's really kind of you. It's really kind of you that whenever I reach out to you, even after months of not us talking, and you're always on board. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, absolutely. I am enjoying.
I love that about you. Thank you.
Same for you. I love collaborating with you. It's great. Such a interesting thing to do.
Yeah. So we're working on. I think I sent over another ballad to you, and
That's
you
right.
played. So we were having some issues with timing.
Right.
And so I decided to record everything in time at my end. Then I'll be sending it over to you. But first, we want to focus all our attention on Arzu and just release it, just get it over with. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, we'll definitely be working on more projects, and you'll be getting friend requests and invites from a lot of people in Pakistan.
And then we'll be famous and do that world tour we've been talking about, and nobody will, won't pay either of us because we both don't.
Yeah, we'll have to pay from our pockets.
That's right. That little pocket on the jeans.
The little.
Well, Zain, thank you so much. This has been great, and I just hope everybody gets to see this. Just for those folks who are watching this, please spread it around because I really want everybody to meet you. And it's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Richie, for inviting me. And I think it took about a year of us planning this, and
yes,
so we finally did it after a year.
Yep. I hope it came out okay. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Thank you, Zain, so much.
Thank you, Richie.
Thank you so much for watching this video podcast. But did you know I have an audio podcast? Check it out wherever and whenever you listen.
Top talent.